Welcome. I'm Nadia Ely. Dominion Energy's Strategic Underground Program aims to increase the overall reliability of our customers' electric service. This podcast is designed for our colleagues and the public and showcases the benefits to our customers and the communities we serve while highlighting those who continue to innovate and elevate the program. During the series, we'll hear from Dominion Energy subject matter experts who will share their expertise and experiences. Joining me today are Joe Woomer, Vice President of Grid and Technical Solutions, and Heather Montville, Strategic Underground Program Communications Consultant. Thank you both for being with me today. Joe, I'm going to go ahead and start with you. We know that undergrounding can eliminate some weather-related power outages and provide more reliable service to those customers whose lines are underground. Other than that, how does a program like this make our system more reliable as a whole?
Nadia, that's a terrific question to start us out today. The Strategic Underground Program is really a game changer in terms of resiliency. When a severe weather passes through our area, our worst damage is often from trees and debris hitting our lines, which can pin them down or break them. Worst of all, break poles. This is the work that we're trying to eliminate. From a manpower perspective, the restoration requirement is not too different to change a pole along a main line or one that's running through neighborhoods feeding homes. Further undergrounding main lines is time consuming. It's much more complex equipment and cost prohibitive as compared to smaller tap lines where we can eliminate much more exposure for less cost. Thus the design of the program, to cut days off of major restoration efforts by undergrounding those historically poor performing neighborhood tap lines, eliminating labor-intensive work so that restoration crews could focus on all customers and restoring them quickly. It's kind of a simple equation. Less work over the same restoration workforce equals quicker restoration and recovery for everyone following a major restoration event. Moving forward, what might have been a 4 or 5 day event is completed for all our customers in 2 or 3 days.
Thanks, Joe. Excellent points there. I appreciate your insight. Heather, you've been a part of SUP for quite a while now. Can underground lines be viewed as being more favorable and safer than overhead?
That's also a great question. And I'll start with safety. So now, with safety being our number one core value here at Dominion Energy, it's important for everyone, especially our customers, to understand that our facilities are safe, whether they are overhead or underground. Our facilities are engineered and built to meet or exceed the National Electric Safety Code standards. And while there are obviously hazards with electricity in general, our safety performance within the Strategic Underground Program and really throughout the company speaks for itself. Now, with that being said, there are definitely reasons why underground lines can be more favorable. Once they're installed, the grass grows over the area and they're out of sight. So aesthetically speaking, customers love it. Underground lines are also less vulnerable to outside conditions. So wildlife, vehicles, and extreme weather conditions are much less likely to impact underground facilities. Also, our data shows that customers are experiencing less outages once their lines are converted to underground. So it does help us restore power more quickly to all of our customers following a major weather event, as Joe mentioned before. So in a lot of ways, yes, they are more favorable.
Yeah, Heather, we are closing in on 2,000 miles undergrounded, about the length of the Appalachian Trail that stretches from Georgia to Maine. And it really is about half of our original plan. And we are cutting down those storm restoration times by eliminating the rear lot heavily treat outage that slow down and hogs up the resources. And that's really the favorability that we're after, both internally and externally.
That is amazing, putting it in the perspective of the length of the Appalachian Trail. That's pretty amazing to think about.
I agree. It certainly gives a different perspective to all of our listeners and how massive this project actually has grown to. Thank you both. Heather, I'd like to stick with you. And as we look to continue innovating this program, what plans for expanding it are in the works right now?
I'm really glad you asked this question because I think there are a lot of new and exciting opportunities ahead for us. Now, the Strategic Underground Program was and is the first program of its kind, not just for Dominion Energy, but in the electric utility industry as a whole. And we didn't stop there. We have already begun expanding beyond the tap lines that this program focuses on and moved on to the main feeders. One of the focuses of our grid transformation plan is our grid improvement projects, which encompasses main feeder hardening, updating substation equipment, and focusing on corridor improvements. And in addition to that, we've also begun focusing on other valuable initiatives, one of them being our rural broadband program. Now, Dominion Energy obviously is not an internet service provider. However, through this program, we are actively working to create partnerships with internet service providers, with the goal being to provide that important middle mile fiber optic cable infrastructure that's needed for internet service providers to extend service into unserved communities. And, those are just a couple of our current programs. There are tons of other really amazing ongoing programs with more in the works. So definitely stay tuned for more exciting and innovative things coming down the pike from Dominion Energy.
Yeah, we also made an exciting decision to expand into North Carolina last year so that we can see expanded benefits. 2021 was a preparation year as we identified tap lines and began to design an easement effort for the initial projects. But with the latest supplier bid award settled, we're ready to kick those projects off in the field as well.
Absolutely. We've done so much prep work just so that we could hit the ground running in North Carolina. We are really excited to start our work, start construction there, and get those North Carolina customers on board.
And I know they're excited for this innovation down there. Thank you both. Joe, last question I'd like to direct to you. How can SUP and other innovative programs continue to bring more value to our customers?
Thanks, Nadia. I think about programs like Strategic Underground, as Heather mentioned, main feeder hardening. We've got our net zero goal, electrification efforts. I think these are all game changers for our company, the communities, and our colleagues. A modern society is increasingly reliant on electronic and connected devices. Soon there'll be EVs coming into that nature. COVID pandemic provided an accelerated view of the vital nature of electricity as many people worked from home or had business as such. Service interruptions have always been inconvenient, and safe and reliable and consistent power delivery has never been more important than it is today. I look at main feeder hardening, and it's a key component, as Heather said, of the grid transformation plan, but it's the ideal complement for strategic undergrounding. We're reconfiguring historically troublesome mainline feeders to a new standard that eliminates outages and using materials that limit the damage so that when that bothersome 100-foot tree gives way to the forces of nature, we have less work to repair. And in similar fashion to strategic underground, less work divided by the same restoration equals quicker restoration recovery for everybody. So this is a time and is a beneficial program at the main feeders. Environmentally, you think about what we're delivering. Dominion Energy and the industry has made tremendous strides in reducing greenhouse gases. And according to the U.S. Energy Information Agency, power sector carbon dioxide emissions now is below the transportation sector. So not only have we doubled down on our net zero goal, but we're looking to support and accelerate electrification, building the infrastructure, renewable resources needed for zero emissions in that area. So reduce carbon, smog, noise pollution from the communities and states that we serve. So a lot of exciting things that we can deliver to our customers.
Joe, it's really impressive when you put it in all of those terms, and it really makes the magnitude of everything Dominion Energy is doing that much more in the spotlight. So thank you for bringing those up, and thank you both for all your points today. Heather, Joe, any points you'd like to drive home?
Well, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize the great work that the Strategic Underground team and partners have accomplished thus far. Just like that Appalachian Trail, this trail is long, but the completion of each step and each segment that we do is really rewarding. And the program's successful when it's being touted by our customers and copied by our peers. It is a game changer for Dominion Energy and beyond. And I'd like to also thank you for hosting and helping us get the message out as we look at moving forward and serving our customers even better than we did before.
I agree. I really appreciate the opportunity not only to be part of the program, but to have the opportunity to talk about such an amazing program and other programs that we have here at Dominion. So thank you so much.
At this time, I'd like to thank Joe Woomer and Heather Montville for their time, expertise, and participation. For more information on Dominion Energy's Strategic Underground program, head to dominionenergy.com/underground. Thanks for listening and be on the lookout for future episodes. I'm Nadia Ely.